A very good evening to you on this Friday, the 14th day of November 2025. Welcome, you're just in time for the day's news. Now, on today's conundrum, we take a look at the chaotic passage of the government-owned enterprises bill in the National Assembly on Thursday. It has once again raised questions about the role and independence of Parliament. Stick around for more into it. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. First, the day's events. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has summoned candidates in the upcoming Kasipul constituency by-election after chaotic scenes were reported in the area this week. The IEBC says it is investigating a series of violent incidents, including clashes that left 2 people dead, and has pledged zero tolerance for election-related violence ahead of the October 27th poll. IEBC Chair Erastus Ethekon, flanked by the NPS Inspector General Douglas Kanja and NCIC Chair Samuel Kobia, have threatened action against unruly candidates.
Any breaches of the code of conduct, of course, will attract penalties, will attract some form of punishment, including fines, and in severe cases, it might force us to cancel or to disqualify those candidates who will be found to have breached the electoral code of conduct.
Any person who involves himself in a manner that causes breach of the law, including all the other areas, Bahrain included and many others, the National Police Service will not allow.
There is need for the candidates, including during the by-elections, to sign a political decency and accountability charter.
Now, President William Ruto has yet again downplayed politicians from the opposition, accusing them of lacking credible development agenda and instead engaging in divisive politics. The head of state reaffirmed his commitment to ensuring fair and balanced development across all regions, regardless of their political alignment. And as Samia Dika reports, the president's tour has seemingly focused more attacks on the opposition as he seeks to wrest Ukambani from Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka in the run-up to the 2027 general elections.
For the third day in a row, President William Ruto intensified his onslaught against the opposition, branding their politics as tribal and divisive. Pitching camp in Machakos County, believed to be Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka's political turf, Ruto dismissed the opposition, saying they lack meaningful development agenda.
So mi nataka niwaambie wale majamaa wanajaribu kushindana na sisi, watu ambao hawana, na unajua ukiwasikiza watakuja hapa, mtawasikia watakuwa tu na maneno 3, watakuja waseme one term, Kasongo must go.
The head of state has meanwhile pledged more goodies for Machakos County residents, ranging from rural electrification, roads, affordable houses, and a new stadium.
Barabara zingine kilomita 320 ya watu wa hapa Machakos County. Hizo barabara zote tayari tumeweka pesa shilingi bilioni 1.5 ambaye ni awamu ya kwanza, na tunataka kuzikamilisha hizo barabara ndani ya miaka 2 zote zitakuwa zimekamilika.
Tuongeze, tuwe na additional 10,000 kilometers of tarmac, tuwe na additional 10,000 megawatts of electricity.
While praising the Kenya Kwanza government's track record, Ruto's allies in the region have vowed to rally behind the president come 2027 general elections.
Wakati sisi tulipata kiongozi mmoja huku katika area yetu ya Ukambani ambaye alikuwa deputy rais, tukasema bas sasa tutasaidika, lakini wapi ole wetu.
Reiterating his commitment to better healthcare services, Ruto has urged Machakos residents to register under SHA and seek free treatment, promising that the government will fully cater for their bills.
Ukienda kwa hospitali umejiandikisha kwa SHA, utibiwe. Mtu akikuuliza pesa, itisha polisi. Piga ripoti kwa polisi, ndio hao watu matapeli. Mnanisikia? Nyinyi mnanisikia? Na mtu akiuliza wewe, nani alisema hiyo maneno, umwambie rais wa Kenya anaitwa William Ruto aliniambia hiyo maneno.
What was initially hyped as a development tour of the Ukambani region has seemingly turned out to be a wrestle to take control of the region from the opposition ahead of the 2027 general election. For Newswatch, I'm Sami Adika.
Now, still in politics, Siaya Governor James Orengo has sparked fresh political debate after declaring that President William Ruto needs ODM more than ODM needs him. Speaking during ODM's party's 20th anniversary that is ongoing in Mombasa City, Orengo dismissed growing speculation about possible cooperation between the ruling Kenya Kwanza administration and the Orange Democratic Movement. This as Blue Economy Cabinet Secretary Hassan Joho says Kenyans should not read too much into President William Ruto's expected attendance at the ODM anniversary celebrations in Mombasa, pointing out that he is a founding member.
Ruto needs ODM. It's not ODM that needs Ruto. Sijui mnanisikia? There are people in the party, they are behaving as if ODM is the one that needs Ruto. Is Ruto that needs ODM? Kwa sababu ameshindwa. I'm not afraid to say. I'm not afraid to say. I have nothing to fear but fear. And I was very happy when Dr. Buru said ODM haitamezwa. And I'm very happy to hear what Winnie said. The liberation parties in Africa, all over, they are dying. Ukienda Tanzania CCM imekufa. Ukienda Uganda UPC ilikufa. Ukienda Zambia party ya Kaunda inaitwa UNIP ilikufa. Kila mahali the liberation parties were dying because they forgot the people. I asked the leadership in ODM. ODM is a party of the people. By the people, for the people. ODM can never be the party by broad-based, for broad-based, and in the interest of broad-based. In law and in politics, there is nothing like that. That I can tell you. Tell me, if in 2027 you make Ruto the president, where does that leave ODM? Where does that leave ODM?
Meanwhile, in the same event, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's daughter, Winnie Odinga, has called out some party members trying to sell the party. Speaking at the ODM Youth Conference today, the Iyala Member of Parliament insisted that those members will not succeed in their attempt, emphasizing that ODM's future will not be discussed in a boardroom.
You know, when you have a great tragedy, people get confused and they act in strange ways. Lakini if anyone is thinking like that, wajua kwamba ODM inajenga na hatuna mchezo. ODM si chama kilichojazaliwa kama siri. Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a boardroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk. It has been the heartbeat of the Kenyan people for 20 years. ODM was born from protest. It was raised in resistance. And the people of ODM have time and time again bled, sweat, and shed tears for this country called Kenya. We are sorry that we don't always get it right. Oleni. But we will never be sorry for being inconvenient. They like to call us a party of goons. What we're doing is nation building. Nation building is untidy. Nation building is inconvenient. Nation building is uncomfortable. Nation building has left us in tears as ODM, as the People's Party, time and time again. But we, ODM, belong to the people. And we will continue growing because the young people of ODM have conviction.
On that political note, let's take a short break on Newswatch tonight. We will be back with more. Stay with us.
These days, the tide pulls harder. We rise early, hustle harder, and keep moving. But even strong men drift when there's nothing holding them. It's time to be anchored. This November, the Sitam Men Joint Leadership invite you to a defining moment. The Anchored Man Men's Conference 2025. Mark your calendar for the 14th and the 15th of November from 8 a.m. at Sitam Karen. 2 powerful days complete with plenary sessions that challenge, worship that renews, and expert-led workshops that tackle sensitive issues and anchor real men in real truth. Featuring the presiding Bishop of Sitam, Bishop Callisto Odede, the Deputy Bishop, Reverend Justus Mugambi, Regional Overseer, Reverend Jotham Munene, the Sitam Men's Patron, Reverend Jesse Mwai, and workshop panelists, Dr. Wahome Ngare, Elder Simon Wafubwa, and Mr. Kingston Ogango. Entry is absolutely free. Register online or at any Sitam assembly near you. See you there.
The Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company has begun a citywide disconnection exercise for all consumers with outstanding water bills. Illegal connections, meter tampering, and self-reconnections will attract penalties and prosecution. Reconnections will only be processed after full payment of outstanding balances.
I'll pay next week.
Settle your payment today through NCWS's authorized payment channels, including M-Pesa Pay Bill, 44400, partner banks, or official pay points. Contact NCWSC on 0724 253 582 or 0703 080 000 or for toll free 0800 724 366. Nairobi City Water and Sewerage Company, delivering safe, reliable, and sustainable water for our city.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience.
Hakuja kuwa, hakutakuwa. Niwe nina hitaji. Mimi nataka ushirika na wewe.
Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship.
Ainuliwe Mungu wetu.
Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands.
Nashangilia Mwokozi.
Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. its ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Are you ready now?
Welcome back. Principal Secretary in the State Department for Medical Services, Dr. Ouma Oluga, has called on employers to integrate diabetes wellness into their workplace wellness programs to ensure they actively participate in advocating for better support for those battling with diseases, or rather with diabetes at the workplace, as Kenya joins the world in marking World Diabetes Day under the theme Diabetes and the Workplace. Oluga has stressed on the need to ensure employers, or rather employees' health is kept in check to improve their productivity. An estimated 800,000 Kenyans are currently living with diabetes, with only 20% enrolled in comprehensive care programs, with Dr. Oluga noting that employers can initiate regular testing to ensure their employees stay aware of their diabetes status. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has assured families and victims of the Elgeyo Marakwet mudslides that took place early this month that the government will shoulder all the burial expenses and hospital bills. Speaking at a fundraising event organized by Elgeyo Marakwet Professionals Association for the mudslide victims, Murkomen said that the Ministry of Public Service and Special Programs, in collaboration with the Ministry of Treasury, is in the final stages of releasing the budgeted money for the disaster. Up to 37 people died and thousands of families were displaced by the mudslides. A mass funeral service is scheduled to take place on the 21st of November this year.
Will do everything that the government of Kenya does in disasters. Everything, for a matter of fact. So we will waive the hospital fees, we will facilitate the funeral, we will also do the settlement, okay? Which means building of the houses as agreed and so forth. That will be done. The budget is provided. The CS Ruku, which is disaster is in his ministry, has worked out a budget. Treasury has received the request. It is under consideration. CS Mbadi and PS Kipto are working on it. By tomorrow, they will have latest Monday, finalize the budgeting process, which then after that day, it will now lead to disbursements as shall be worked out. So I don't want to come here and enumerate the things the government of Kenya will do. What else can we do for these people? Yeah, based on the contribution we are making. What economic empowerment? The children who have lost their loved ones, we can put them in a scholarship fund of some sort to support them. We will do some other resources to improve livelihoods beyond and above what government would have done. So what we raise here, rest assured, it's for long-term purposes.
Greenpeace Africa is calling on the Kenyan government to set bold refill and reuse targets to help phase out harmful single-use plastics. The appeal came during the launch of the first Refill and Reuse Festival at the National Museums of Kenya in Nairobi. Project lead Helen Kahaso Dena said expanding refill and reuse systems could cut pollution, ease the financial burden on taxpayers, and create new economic opportunities.
Today is part of, day one is today, which is part of our policy dialogue and policy briefing, but also we'll be having tomorrow, which will be more of exhibitors, and by exhibitors, this will be people who will be showcasing some of the refill and reuse models.
We want to fight for ourselves, to see how we can be on the front lines, to advocate for the justice of also the universe, because most of the time recycling has been glorified. but sisi tunajua ke tunaokota, you know. PET and HDPE, and at the same time PET also, the colored PET is not, it doesn't have a market, you know. Things are on and off. You are told, oh, HDPE is the only thing which has a consistency.
What if your pain had a purpose? What if your past was just a beginning of a greater story?
Gotten to another level because now I could not do anything without it, and now it became like a poison. I take it today, it grounds me for 3 more days.
If I had not read the Bible, when I read the Bible, it just confirmed all the more that I had an encounter with the Lord, because I told him, Lord, why have you come to me?
From the streets to the sanctuary, from the prison yard to the pulpit, real people are sharing the power of God's transforming love. No matter where you've been, God can rewrite your story.
So I got him, I just called, and by luck, he picked up the phone. Whoa. I explained everything and what I was feeling.
Wow.
He started praying in tongues immediately over the phone, and that thing, whatever it was, it stopped.
Join me, Sharon Aitore Wanganye, for Testify every Thursday at 8 p.m. as we listen through the journey of hope, healing, and redemption through the voices of people just like you.
And when you're running away from God, there's only the fire you can run.
Yeah.
I stand here as a witness that God catches up.
These aren't just stories, they are testimonies. Don't just watch. Testify.
Welcome back in business. Pesapal, a financial services and business solutions provider, has partnered with KCB Bank Kenya to transform fuel stations operations across East Africa. The collaboration will see the rollout of Pesapal's advanced forecourt management solution to over 10,000 fuel dealers in the region, combining cutting-edge operational technology with innovative financing models to transform the petroleum retail sector by efficiently managing functions such as fuel dispensing, sales, inventory, tracking payments, and reconciliation. The seamless adoption of the system will address urgent needs in East Africa's petroleum sector, which is undergoing rapid transformation driven by evolving regulatory requirements, increasing consumer expectations for digital services, and growing pressure for operational transparency.
We're working with KCB to make sure as customers digitize, as customers organize their day-to-day, they can get easy access to capital so that they can restock, so they don't run out of fuel. And then we're excited about the other products that we are working on. Step one is help the customer to digitize their business, to see how everything is going. Step two is make it easy for, in this case, the petrol station to click a button and to be able to access inventory. We'll help them with collections and all that stuff. Then we're working on more exciting things in future, where you're looking at how does a matatu circle fuel, how does a corporate manage their fueling. We're working with the bank to digitize all this.
This partnership is going to do precisely that. That as the owner of business, you don't need to bother in terms of ability to track your consumption, ability to reconcile, ability to have your financial records on time so that you can actually engage each and every partner. You know, you're talking about efficiencies that is going to be brought through innovation. And that's why we collaborated and we've partnered with Pesapal so that our customers can actually enjoy seamless life as we innovate to meet their financial requirements.
Equity Group Foundation and the United Nations Development Programme, that is UNDP, has signed a memorandum of understanding to accelerate innovation and provide robust support to businesses to drive inclusive economic growth across Africa. Through this partnership, UNDP and Equity Group Foundation will establish centers of excellence under the UNDP's flagship Timbuktu initiative to foster innovation and empower African entrepreneurs These centers will provide comprehensive training, mentorship, and improve access to finance, enabling the creation and growth of high-potential climate-neutral businesses.
Sign a collaborative partnership that we could be able to further the innovation agenda under the Timbuktu brand. Equity Bank has been associated with interest and focus on young people. We have been the long standing sponsor of drama and music festivals for primary, secondary, and university and tertiary colleges. Broadly is to promote the performing art and the creative industry and sector. And incidentally, then we picked on developing leadership. And we have built a pipeline of 60,000 young scholars. 30,000 have gone through high school and are now at university levels in various universities. We still have 28,000 in high school between Form 2 and Form 4. And we're very excited when we look at that pipeline.
Now, President William Ruto says his administration is fulfilling its promise to deliver inclusive growth across the country. The president today launched construction of the 13-kilometer Kangundo-Kivani Road, which cuts across Mwala and Kangundo constituencies in Machakos County. The 775 million shillings project is expected to boost economic activity in the area and improve the movement of goods and people.
Nimemwambia mheshimiwa wenu nampatia another 150 million ya kujenga soko mbili kubwa hapa Mwala. Nyenye mnanielewa? Na hiyo soko mimi nataka ianze mwezi ujao. Tuhakikishe ya kwamba wakati tunajenga zile soko tunajenga Kenya. Hapa Machakos tumetoa pesa nyingi, shilingi bilioni 25 ya mambo ya housing, ya mambo ya market na mambo ya hostels. Na mimi nataka kila sehemu ya Ukambani tuhakikishe ya kwamba maendeleo ile inaendelea Kenya, inaendelea hapa Ukambani.
Ile barabara imetajwa na Mheshimiwa Kawaya ya kutoka kule Ukia kuja Wamono inashikana na hii barabara tulijengea watu wetu hapa kutoka Makutano wa Mwala inaenda mpaka Garissa Road. Itafungua kutoka Loitoktok hadi Garissa. Kwa hivyo it is basically a trunk road. Kwa hivyo ni barabara ya maana kabisa.
And in sports, the Mombasa NCBA US Kids Golf Fall season will come to an end on Sunday, November 16th, with the Tour Championship as junior golfers battle across different categories at the Nyali Golf and Country Club. The event is set to bring together 58 junior golfers, that is 43 boys and 15 girls aged 5 to 18, competing across age-specific categories for both Tour Championship titles and priority status points. Speaking ahead of the Mombasa Tour Championship, NCBA Group Managing Director of John Gashora emphasized the bank's continued commitment to supporting the growth of junior golf in Kenya.
Honorable Mbui, Honorable Mwathe, the reason why I'm not paying attention to you is because you're grossly out of order. That is gross misconduct. Standing order number 107. And in any case, you have attempted to remove the mace from its place, in which case I will expel you from the house. Honorable members, order, Honorable Mbui. Honorable Mbui, if you want to make a point of order, you have to do it with respect. You cannot do it in a disrespectful manner. And you cannot attempt to remove the mace from its place. And for that reason, you have committed gross disorderly conduct, and contrary to Standing Order 107A, and in fact, one of them, you have attempted to remove the mace from its place in the chamber. And therefore, I have called you out. It gives the Speaker a right to call you out and immediately ask for you to remove from the precincts of Parliament, which I am therefore asking the Sergeant at Arms to remove you from the presence of Parliament for 5 days.
Now, on today's conundrum, the chaotic passage of the Government-Owned Enterprises Bill in the National Assembly has once again raised questions about the role and independence of Parliament. A bill proposing the privatization of 67 state parastatals was rushed through in a disorderly sitting, with opposition members of Parliament shouting about lack of quorum and even attempting to seize the mace in protest. Their microphones were ignored, members were suspended, and the House leadership pressed on. The scenes have revived concerns that Parliament is steadily becoming an extended arm of the executive rather than a watchdog for the public. When major decisions affecting billions in public assets are pushed through without consensus or clear debate, the fear is that privatization could happen without transparency, possibly for the benefit of a select few. For many Kenyans, the question is no longer just about procedure, it is about trust. If public participation is sidelined, if the opposition is silenced, and if voting rules are brushed aside, then who is safeguarding national resources? Supporters of the bill argue that the privatization brings efficiency, but critics warn that state assets placed hurriedly in private hands may be lost with little accountability forever. These as the words of government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura last month echo, saying that the law strengthens oversight rather than weakening it. He said that any sale of state assets will now require approval from both the Cabinet and the National Assembly. How practical the statement is remains to be seen. As the dust settles, the tension between Parliament's constitutional role and the pressure from the executive is clearly evident. With petitions against the privatization law still pending in court, the legislature continues on a path that seems to erode public confidence in Kenya's democracy rather than build it. It is a matter of time till Kenyans understand or reap the fruit of this privatization business, because it is no longer a public affair. And that is today's conundrum. Pandisha hapo kwa Harambee. Well, today's conundrum indeed brings us to the end of the bulletin, even as I mentioned that Harambee Stars have this evening unfortunately lost 1-0 to Equatorial Guinea in an international friendly in Antalya, Turkey. We do hope that they get the next match, or rather win. And that brings us to the end of Newswatch this evening. On behalf of the whole team, Thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Till next time, have a good night.